You're listening to the Chronicles of Living podcast, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. Now let's talk.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop on the road of life. You can't stop. You can't stop moving. Keep move. Keep that pace. You switching to gear. Let's go as we climb up the hill. Don't slow down. Pedal a little more. The mind is working. It's in control. Your wheels are turning a little more. Going higher another notch. Keep it steady. Don't watch the clock go round.
Greetings, my visionary dreamers. Today's topic is starting over can be scary. Stop worrying, y'all. You got this. Trust me. This is Adionne. I'll be back.
We are learning, always turning. Later cannot stop the time. Always merging into lanes that better suit us as we ride. Switch it up. Switching to gear, let's go. As we climb up the hill, don't slow down. Pedal a little more. The mind is working, it's in control. Your wheels are turning a little more. Going higher another notch. Keep it steady, don't watch the clock go round.
And to my new listeners out there, welcome. Welcome to Chronicles of Living podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. You know us extraordinary folk, doing the damn thing the best way we can. And I am your host, adionne-your-dream-pusher. And if you're just tuning in, because I know from time to time I get new listeners, and because this is episode 107, can you believe it? Especially to my visionary dreamers who have been following me from the beginning. Can you believe that we are at episode 107? And I just want to remind everyone why I do this show. I do this show because it's for everybody out there that just needs some encouragement, some motivation. And yes, you know, we all get it at some point, but every now and then something happens in our life that causes us to need encouragement and motivation. And sometimes we don't have the right people around us to give us what we need. So sometimes we might need that outside source or that outside voice or video that can give us that boost that we need, you know, that little boost of confidence that we already have within us, but it reminds us of that. It reminds us of the power that we possess that maybe we forgot about, you know, because of life just happening day to day. And as I said in my description, with life, you know, comes change. And some of us can just be terrified of change. And, you know, when you're terrified of things, it can paralyze you. It just, that's the extreme fear, you know, and it keeps you from moving through life and becoming the best you ever. Because when you're fearful, that stunts your growth, you know. When you're fearful of the unknown, and these are the things that I talk about in this show to help people along to know that there's nothing to be scared of. I mean, really, what are you scared of? I mean, either the thing that you want to do in life is going to happen or it's not, or either it might not happen the way you wanted to at that time, or maybe it might happen better than you ever expected. So what are you scared of? At the end of the day, we walk around with, some of us, not all of us, but I believe at some point all of us has faced some type of fear. And we all had to check ourselves and say, what am I scared of? I mean, really. I mean, think about that first day of school when you were young. I wanted to go to school. I wanted to meet new people because I'm a people person, but it still can be a little bit scary walking into an environment around a new group of people, a new job, a new promotion, not knowing the demands that's going to come your way. And if you feel like you're fit to fill those shoes. And I truly believe that is where the fear comes in. A lot of us, at some time or another, we start doubting ourselves. We start doubting, and we don't believe in ourselves as much as we should. I really, truly believe that is the solution, is to learn how to believe in ourselves, so that we can be the best version of ourselves, so that we can move into the things that God has for us, into the assignments that we are put here to perform, and not worry about the little hiccups along the way, the so-called mistakes, the so-called failures along the way, but learn from that and see what it is that you can get out of it in a positive sense. This topic came about because if you've been following, I told you that I started doing like Uber and Lyft on the side to make some extra money to invest in my dreams, my visions, and to invest in get some more money up for my son, college and everything, just extra money, but that was starting all over in a sense, because I have never driven for anybody else, for strangers, Yes, I drive a lot. People that know me, they know I will drive. I used to drive from Georgia to Philadelphia to, wherever. I can just get in a car and go. That's just my makeup. But a lot of times I found that people will say to me, because now I'm getting older. That's not because I'm not getting tired, but it's just I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, no, I'm not going to keep driving to y'all. Come drive to me. And it's always, well, that's too far, and you know how to do it, and that's what you do. And no. It's because I do it because I want to see who it is that I'm going to see. And I feel like, okay, I'm getting on the road because I want to enjoy someone's company. So I feel like, well, dag, I'm not important like that. I'm not important enough for some people to face their fears and just get on a road. You don't have to get on the highway. You could take the side roads, put in your GPS, no highways, no tolls. Trust me, I keep mine on no tolls. It might be a longer ride, but I'm not paying nobody's tolls. I'm sorry. That's just extra money that I don't think I need to pay. But, that's a part of starting over, doing something different. Doing something different that you never felt that you would have to do or that you could do. 2 weekends ago, I went and got my grandbabies, my goddaughter's kids, and took them to Dutch Wonderland. And I invited my cousins, 2 of my cousins, to come up. And one of them, she was late as far as getting her license. She didn't get her license until, I think, her late 30s. But she used to, be scared of the highway. So, but recently she started driving the highway. So when I told her, to come on up, she decided, like, you know what? I got a new car. I'm going to put it on the road. I'm going to do this, And I just was like checking along the way, like, you sure you're going to do this? And she did it. And I was just so excited that she did something that she wasn't used to doing. But prior to this, she had a little practice from a friend of hers driving long distance because there was a need for her to drive long distance. See, sometimes we wait until we have to start over and do something different. We wait until we're put in this position to start all over. And now we have no choice but to face our fears. But you don't want to do that. You want to just do things and start all over if it means that it can take you to the next level in life. You want to face that fear and look at it and say, I'm better than you. I can do you. You know what I mean? If you want more money, then you got to do something different, which means starting over a new routine. It might mean starting over the way your schedule runs. If you, like with me, I'm doing this Lyft and Uber, even though it's like, I can just do it when I want to. It's not like a set time. That's what I like about it. If I want to just make some extra money to go out, if I want to make extra money to pay a bill, if, whatever, I can just get in the car, put the app on, and drive, But I really like doing this. It has become a thing of the people that I'm meeting along the way. I mean, it's almost like I'm practicing in the car for the podcast show because I'm having these conversations with these strangers, and some of them I'm able to encourage along the way. And the other day I was driving this young lady, and she was going for her permit, and she had failed a couple of times. She moved from a new state, and it's kind of like starting all over for her. So we were talking about that, and I just encouraged her, like, look, you got this. She was talking about how much money she had to spend doing getting Uber and Lyft. Their family spent about a good $7,000 when they added it up throughout the year. That's a car. And we talked about that. That's a car. But she never drove, She came from a state she didn't have to. And so this is a starting over point because she has to start over. She's put in a position that she had to start over. It's either that, go get your license, or continue to spend money that you can otherwise be saving. Now, I'm not saying don't go out there and take Uber and Lyft. You do what you have to do. But if it's because you're fearful of starting all over and learning how to drive and doing something different and getting on a road, and then you need to look at that and say to yourself, what is more beneficial to me? Is it more beneficial for me to learn something new, so that it can keep money in my pocket? Or is it more beneficial for me to continue to spend money just because I am fearful of starting something new? Starting all over as into how I do things, how I get to work and get to school or wherever you're going, These are the things that we need to start looking at. I had a client this morning, and we had a conversation, and, we got on I started telling her about how I maintain myself because she was saying how I look so young. And thank God I get that a lot. And I was just sharing with her that, it's about starting over the way you eat, the way you take care of yourself. If you see yourself, going down as we get older, certain things don't work the same, or, some of us put on weight, or just so many things change within us. And sometimes it calls for us to hit the reboot button, hit the start over button, and learn a different way to live, to make sure that you stay fit, to eat, to the way we, the things, the products that we might use on our face, the way, just so many aspects that we can visit to keep ourselves in a youthful state, With me, I had to, retract the things that I eat, because as you get a little bit older, your metabolism starts to slow down. So now you might not be able to eat some of the things or drink dairy products. Yeah, dairy is just, you want to be out the room if I drink some dairy. It's just not good for me anymore. And I used to love milk, But now that I found out the different things as far as dairy products and how the different ways it can affect your health or your weight, and how sometimes you need to, not sometimes, a lot of times you need to cut things and do things in moderation so that it won't affect you in a negative sense. Let's say that, with me, bread and dairy keeps me bloated. So I switched over. I do coconut milk and almond milk, and it was starting all over, And I know you might say, well, Adionne, that's something small. But it really is something big, because that's something that's affecting my weight, my health system. But because I decided to start all over and look at the way that I'm eating, it's helping me to keep myself healthy, Some of us, when we get older, high blood pressure comes along. Well, there are things that you might have to cut back on your drinking if you drink. You just some of the foods that you eat. Again, salt intake. It's starting all over, and being adamant about it. Knowing that it's beneficial for you to start all over, and everything is little by little. As I was talking to my writer today, don't look at everything as a whole. It becomes overwhelming when you look at life as a whole. I talked about this on one of my shows, like cutting that pie in pieces, Each week, take something out of your diet that don't agree with you anymore, that is putting weight on you, that is might lead to diabetes or high blood pressure, things of that nature. Little by little. I'm not saying just, go clean out your refrigerator and just start all over. No, little by little. Each time you go shopping, walk away from certain things that you shouldn't have. Just don't even go down that aisle, okay? Because you're not going to eat what you don't bring into your house. That's the bottom line. The same with your kids. You change your habits and you don't bring certain things in the house, guess what? They're not going to miss it after a while. They might ask for it, but if you are consistent with the way you shop, they're going to get used to it, and they're going to eat what you put on the table to eat. Bottom line, So with that, that's only going to make you healthier. Don't be scared to do something different. Don't be scared to leave your neighborhood, leave your state, leave your city, and venture out. I talk about this from show to show, and every now and then I have to do shows to remind us, to remind me. As I keep telling y'all, these shows are for me too. They're not just for you, they're for me too, Starting all over into entrepreneurship, For me, it's like I'm taking a totally different career path. It's not totally different because I've worked with kids before, I've worked with youth before, but me going into, the yoga industry and the meditation, and all of these things. These are things that I've been doing. I've been eating right. I'm always this little herbal chemist in my kitchen, and family members and friends call me for remedies. This has been throughout my life, but now I decided to start all over and put a new focus, a new spin on the things that I pursue in my life. And not just benefit me, but benefit those who want that service, And it's a win-win because I'm helping them to get healthier, and I'm keeping myself in a healthy state because I have to maintain me in order to for people to believe, like, okay, this is what I do. If I start falling it apart and all of a sudden my health starts declining, how am I going to go in and tell people I can help them? But it's starting all over. I had to learn something new. I had to study. I'm still studying. I'm 48 years old. You're never too old to start all over. You're never too old to start something new. I say this from show to show to put this in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit. You got a dream, you got a goal, you got a vision. Go after it. Do not look at what you have right now. Do not look at what you know right now, because knowledge is power. And we have the internet. And if you don't have internet in your home, you got Starbucks, you got the library, you got so many ways. There are no excuses as to you got your cell phone, okay? If you got a smartphone, Google whatever it is that you want to pursue and start over. Start something new. Give some adventure to your life, Look at your life. If you just really be honest with yourself and look at your life, look at the past, now I'm not even going to say 5, 10, look at the past 20 years of your life. What is the most exciting thing that you did that is different? Ask yourself. Something new. Have you done anything new in your life? Have you started over? Something in your life that you had to start over and do, that you wasn't even prepared to start over and do. Like for me, move. But again, that's not starting all over for me. I've done that. But still, every time I've moved, it was starting all over. It was meeting new people. It was moving to a new environment. It was maybe taking a new occupation, maybe starting a new career. And for me, it was exciting. And yes, at times it was a little scary because you never know how things are going to pan out. But know this, they pan out the way they are supposed to. Even if it seems like it's bad. When you look at it, you will find something good out of each thing. Trust me, I had to do this time after time, and this is the reason why my energy level stays up more than it stays down, because I don't look at life and stay in the storm, stay in the struggle or the obstacle. I don't focus on that. I focus on, I'm starting all over with whatever it is, whether it's a move, whether it's a new venture, I'm starting all over. Let me focus on this. Let me focus on what am I capable of doing right now. That's what you focus on. When you start all over, whether it be new job, move into a new state, what is it that you can focus on that you're capable of doing? If you move to a new state or a new neighborhood, you can drive around a neighborhood, take a day, drive around a state. You can look at certain places and write notes on. That's what I do. Like when I'm out with my clients, as far as the when I do the Uber and the Lyft, when I go pick up people, I just ride. I don't like have a specific post, and I do this purposely because I want to learn about my environment. I want to learn about the different surrounding cities and what do they have as far as activities and entertainment and history. That's what makes life exciting. That's what makes life feel like it's new every day. I go around, and as I'm talking to the different people and finding out the things that they do, I'm learning something new. And we're sharing, about the things that we do. So we're both learning from each other. It's exciting to start over, guys. It is exciting. It's not fearful. Fear is, as I said before, and I heard someone say, is, what is it? False evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. So, in other words, whatever it is that you're fearing that you're going to fail, or, people are not going to like you at the new job, or, in your new position, you're not going to be the best manager or whatever. That's false evidence because you haven't even experienced it yet. You haven't even met the new people yet. You haven't even started your first day, your first week. You haven't even started your training yet. So why are you fearing something that you didn't even start yet? That is crazy. If you go in with this outlook of, this is a new adventure for me. This is something new for me. This is something that I can grow from, This is something that can help me to become a better me. And even if I don't like this new position, this new job, this new neighborhood, even if I don't like it, I experienced it. And I have something that I can take with me on my next journey. If I have to start all over again, I have something that's in my archive of life that I can pull out and say, you know what, I've been here before, and this is how I need to deal with this. And it might not be the same exact way, but you kind of have an idea, If you're starting all over with a new relationship, this is a new person. This is the thing. We all have new relationships in some type of way. And a lot of times we're willing to make new relationships, rather be dating, if you don't want to be a loner and you want somebody in your life, you have to start all over. You have to meet a whole new person, find out their traits, find out their habits, the things they like, the things that you don't like about them. This is starting all over. So if you're willing to start all over with a new person, a whole new person, why can't you start all over, in life? Why is it that some of us are fearful of starting a new in life, but you're willing to meet a new person? To me, that's scarier than starting over in life, because you don't know nothing about this new person. You don't know if they're fatal attraction. You just don't know about this person, but you're willing to do that, So you gotta get to the point that you're like, you know what? Maybe that's something that you can relate to. Maybe that's something you can look at. This job is just like a new relationship. This taking on a whole entrepreneur venture is a new relationship. It's a new relationship. I might like her or I like him or not. And if I don't like this, then I can move on. Look at it in that aspect. if you had a if you had a loved one that you lost, that is a way that you have to start over. You're kind of forced into starting all over. Whatever attachment you had with this loved one, if you were used to this loved one, speaking to them every day or seeing them every day, and now you feel empty in your heart, you feel sadness in your heart, and you feel like you can't go on. You can. You got this. And I'm sure that your loved one would want you to have this. I'm sure that your loved one would want you to live your life to the fullest. I've lost people in my life at a young stage in my life, in my 20s. I lost a couple of people in my 20s. I know how it feels to lose someone that you're really close to. I've lost friends, I've lost family members, and some of them were people that I talked to every day. One of them was a relationship, so I know the pain that it causes. And some of us don't know how to start over. Some of us don't know how to live life without those people in our life. But you have to remember that we all came into this world as individuals, which means that we have to walk through life as an individual, whether we want to acknowledge that or not. I tell my son all the time, listen, I want to teach you this because God forbid I'm not around. I don't want you to be lost. I don't want you to be in a position where you are dependent on me and you're like, my mom is not here to do it for me, so I just can't live life. I don't know how to start all over. These are the things that we really have to start pulling our bootstraps up and just saying, you know what? I got this. I could do this. It is me. I am here and I could do this. Find the strength from somewhere. Be willing to learn a new routine. Be willing to start that goal, that dream, that vision over if it don't pan out the way you expected, the way you planned it. You know how many times I planned out something and it didn't go the way I planned? But later on in life, that same thing came back around. The thing that I learned from the dream or the vision that I had to put on hold or I had to let go of, little different pieces of knowledge and wisdom that I learned while I was in that point in my life, I was able to bring forward and help out with a dream or a vision that I was working on in my current point of life, And this is what happens. So don't be scared. Stop worrying. Worrying is the thing that's going to keep you paralyzed. Worrying puts wrinkles on your face. Worrying causes sickness. It causes stress, which causes sickness within our body, whether you realize it or not. When you worry, you bring on that energy to yourself, to your loved ones, and people wonder why certain things happen. But remember, the energy that you put out, you get back. So stop staying in your comfort zone. Stop holding on to that comfort blanket, that pacifier from when you was a baby, whatever it is that's like a pacifier to you, that's like a blanket to you, that kids hold on to as a comfort. Stop, let it go. Stop smoking them cigarettes or stop taking a drink when you get stressed out. Stop doing that. And face life. Face your current situation. If you don't like your current situation, maybe you need to start over. Maybe you need something new in your life. Maybe you need to let go of the relationship that you're in if it's holding you back from being the best you. These are the things we got to look at, y'all, so that we can be better and do better. We get one life in this time-space reality. I don't know how many other lives we get in other time-spaces reality in the spirit realm. But right now, where you are right now, you get one shot here. So I say, if you don't like the way your life is right now, don't worry about what everybody else thinks. Don't worry about what everybody else is going to say. Go out there and start anew. Whatever the new is that you know you need to start. Just go out there and do it. You have the tools, you have everything you need, regardless of what you think. You have everything you need. And whatever you don't have, as long as you get on that path to start anew, God will send the other pieces along as he see you moving, or God sees you as she sees you moving. The pieces will come. That's how my life has been. Regardless of everybody on the outside looking in, I know, my son knows, how it is and the things that I've learned. And that's why I'm able to talk to you today. These are things I learned along the way, and I'm sharing with you in hopes that you can take it and you can run and create a better life for yourself and for your loved ones. So this is what I have for you today. Just start over, y'all. You got it. Don't worry about it. You got this. Trust me. You got this. When it looks dark, trust me that it will be some light at the end of the tunnel. Don't give up on yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Go after that new thing and just see. Just see. Because at least you saw. Don't go through life shoulda, coulda, woulda. I wonder if I would have did that. So many of us go through life wondering if instead of when we're going to do a thing. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. Start over. It's not as scary as you think. Stop worrying and just do what you can as you can along the way, and everything will come together. Even if it means, your credit, start paying off the smallest thing, and then take that money and add to the next thing, and then take that money and add to the next thing, and before you know it, your credit will be all paid off. That's what I was telling my rider in the car. Everything has a starting point in life, but you have to be willing to start. You have to be willing to do it and try something new and welcome change into your life, because change causes growth. Know that. All right. So hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure, I always forget to say in the beginning, comment, you can comment on any show that's from the past. You can still comment, share. And I made it to Spotify, y'all. So you can listen to the show on Spotify now as well. Chronicles of Living podcast show. Search that up on Spotify if you're just driving and you just want to hear, different topics to motivate you and encourage you. Share with a friend. I love you guys. Love, love, love you. Until next Sunday, this is Chronicles of Living podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. You know it's extraordinary folk doing a damn thing the best way we can. And you are listening to Adionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, from the world, from some real bullshit. Peace, guys. Thank you for listening to Chronicles of Living, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. And if you are pursuing your dreams, I'm proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live. To keep up with us, please visit chronicles-of-livin.com. Until next time, this is Adionne, your dream pusher. I love you guys.